All right, bro. Welcome to the episode number 25, another episode of the Backlog. As usual, let's jump right into it, man. Today, you're pretty damn tired, so let's keep the pace going.
Right?
First off, game that we ran last game night that I think was pretty good,
hmm
Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, it had its
Um,
RPG tropes, leaned very into like the Final Fantasy X type of feel. Uh, it was just like a very buttery Final Fantasy X, if anything. I mean, running on a 360 gives that advantage graphically, but I didn't expect that for sure, especially onto a Friday game night.
yeah, there wasn't a lot of RPGs for the 360 era. The big ones that I hear are this one, Lost Odyssey, and Blue Dragon. But hearing that this game had foundational roots to the Final Fantasy series, that's what kind of made me want to give it a chance. It had
hmm
really good, as usual, really good music. The gameplay was definitely there. The characters with the big heads and just almost exaggerated weapons and definitely felt like it, except for like when you would win the battles and it was just
the
like a knockoff generic version of it. But
Yeah, the doo doo
aside from
chime.
that, yeah, aside from that, I think it was good. But I think you and I kind of came to the same conclusion that we don't really have capacity for this. It would
No,
be neat. It'd be neat to run, but I don't
I
think,
know I talked
unfortunately,
about it. Sorry, go on.
Oh, and that's pretty much it. But
Uh,
I was just gonna say that this thing has 4 discs in here. So many discs that they had to add a sleeve. And I thought that this was perhaps like they lost the original case, but I looked up some other YouTube CIB openings, and that's how they came. Uh, I don't know exactly what this means, but I felt like it had some weight to it, which was the fact that this was not a resale item. Who knows? I doubt that this will mean anything in the future, but very well taken care of. And that was the reason I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's give it a shot.
hey, so I can't really see too clearly, but the how was this disc stacked in? Were they just on top of each other on the same
Yeah, they're stacked. So, and then if
four
you
of
try to
them?
make the mistake of no. So there's 4 discs total. There's three in here, and there's because they can't fit all four in here. They put that sleeve behind it over here,
Okay, I was
which
about to
is
say,
very
I was like,
like very odd. And if you try taking out the disc all like just one at a time, it won't happen. It'll feel like you're cracking them. So I don't know if you can see.
damn,
That's
they they
all three of
really.
them.
I mean, they could have gone with like, I mean,
One,
probably
two, and three.
probably not realistic, but I mean, you have one, two, three, and potentially a fourth
Yeah, and then you got like when you
spot.
put them back in, when you put it back in there, you gotta just like force all three like
Shove it in.
crunch. And
That's
like
new.
like I said, there's the 4 disc in the back behind the manual. It just looks like doesn't this look like something you'd get from GameStop,
Oh
used
yeah,
copy or something like that? There's
yeah.
nothing on it.
Here's this is how we got it. But
Yeah,
I've never heard of 360 trying to cram down all more than two disc into one box. I felt like that was not efficient,
I can only
especially with the
imagine.
cost.
I can only imagine that there's a lot of cutscenes in this, so that's probably
Dude,
part of
the
why.
first cutscene was like, I'd say intense.
Yeah,
A lot of weird shit going on, but the very high quality cutscenes. I'm just like, okay, I see the Final Fantasy-ness into this,
yeah.
but
Uh, anyways, what were your thoughts? Any, I guess, like it, dislike it? Who would you recommend
oh,
this to?
more turn-based RPG fans that want something for the 360.
Yeah.
It's hard. Me mentally, my mind space is like I can't fit another RPG. Like they're so backlogged with other games.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I know I talked about it a lot. I keep saying Expedition 33, but I'm just like Expedition 33 or this old 360 game with just traditional RPG mechanics. By the way, the ring mechanic was cool, but I never got it down.
I think for somebody to go back to this, you have to be just a full on RPG enthusiast, and you're looking for another RPG to just scratch your itch. You have gone through all the Final Fantasies. You want something unique and different, or maybe just more of the same. I don't want to say it's unique, different. It's unique in the sense of a different story, but all Final Fantasies are different stories. A slight change in the character's looks, but everything else is generally the same. If you're looking for a 360 RPG, I think this one would be for you, and maybe Blue Dragon, which Blue Dragon by the cover looks very kiddish, and then when you see the actual gameplay on it, you see it's a, what do they call it? Like Dragon Ball Z met Final Fantasy type of game.
The Akira Toriyama art style.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, very much. I'm not seeing any. Hold up. Uh, Not much gameplay on it. It's also a turn-based RPG, and definitely giving me the Dragon Quest vibes, kind of like a spin-off to it.
Yeah, I
It'd
think
be.
maybe like a Dragon Quest mixed with Dragon Ball Z. I think that's what it was.
Do you know how
Anyways,
much this game is
what's
going
that?
for though?
Which one?
How much the
Blue
Blue
Dragon? I
Dragon?
want to say like 60, 70 maybe. I did hear that the game was going up in price. And like I said, I remember when it was like 15, 20 bucks, and it didn't appeal to me then. And when I saw the game price going up, I was like, well, fuck, I missed it. And it's probably going to keep going up just because it's got that Dragon Ball Z element to it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we've definitely seen it at Tronics a few times and just kind of skipped over it. It's
Yeah,
definitely
probably.
not definitely not something I'd pick up on the fly, but now it's like just scoop it up for the sake of having it. You know it's going to climb up.
Sometimes, yeah, and I that's like an ongoing battle of it's a balance. You can get too caught up in buying too much shit, and then you have all these games you don't really want, and you go back to, well, I'm only gonna play the games that I really want to play, and then
Like
like time passes,
cruising the
and you're like,
world.
fuck, I wish I would have bought that game. Like you never know, man. And we were talking about this yesterday, like um, what is a game that's going to go up in price? It's not even the right reason to buy a game. Like when you could have bought a game for 15 bucks and then it's worth like 100 bucks, it stings a little bit.
Yeah. Now you got to
But
go
I
out
think
of
the
your way for a
consensus is,
$100 game.
yeah, the consensus is like, where are you going to play it? Was that a good game? If the answer is no, then at the end of the day, you're not really losing much. Here's a game from shit 20 years ago. I don't even know, man.
You had
Looking
this
for
kind of laying around, and I remember when you got deployed, this was like, oh, cool, titties.
platinum hits. 13 bucks. That's like 26 today.
Yeah, I remember I couldn't get that game down as a kid. Too complicated. Now going into it, I'm just like, there's not enough meat on this bone, as far as I know.
As far as what we could pick up on, yeah, graphically, like really good. Because I thought this was a 360 game at first,
Mm-hmm.
thinking
Yeah,
the
because the
white trim,
case.
and then when we ran it on 360 and it was an Xbox game, like, oh fuck. Um,
By some miracle,
I
I was able to run.
thought it was pretty good. I thought it looked great. Did it? No, it didn't perform to like the Tekken standard. Not as good as uh, Tekken 4 or 5, maybe even 6. But it was interesting what it was trying to do. It had what I really liked about it were the scenes. Remember there was one battle where like by it's like this winter scene. There's all this snow around. There's this
Oh,
creek.
the stage called Snow.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I was like,
What's that
uh,
name for that thing that's like
it's by the
crystallized?
no, it was really a pretty stage. I think I went back on our YouTube, what do you call it? Our YouTube live video, and then I was able to finally appreciate like what they were doing with the snow at the time. I mean, you were doing stuff the PS4 marketed with Red Dead 2 and stuff that the PS5 marketed with God of War Ragnarok is just the capability of doing snow, which just means it's like different rendering techniques of getting polygons to shift and similar to snow. You leave an imprint, but doing that back in the Xbox, I was like, that's very impressive.
For Xbox days. And I like that the scene wasn't. They took you out of the octagon, the ring, and they said, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Let's just put the characters in a scene in a field or something. There was one
Middle of a
scene where
forest.
in the middle of a forest, and there's all these trees, right? Another scene. You remember you had like these plateaus. You had these cliffs. You could
Oh,
knock
that
your
was
opponent
cool.
off. Knock your
Real
opponent off, and
annoying.
you're in a different stage. You're you're taking like 25% health loss when you fall into your what should have been your death. But as long as you got good health, you can revive. But I thought that was pretty neat. Like they actually went and took you to a scene. I don't think any
Wait,
fighting games have really done that. Not that
no,
I can think
I
of.
would the closest thing I'm pretty sure we keep drawing comparisons and talking about this game every week. Tekken has stage transitions. I know. Oh man,
Yeah,
I
but they're still
think
kind of octagonish, though. They're not like they're putting you somewhere in a jungle or anything
well,
like that. You're
I
you're still
know
like in a
there's a lot of complaints with Tekken 4. I remember that's like the universally worst Tekken game according to the fan base or whatever.
interesting. I didn't think so, but
No, it was a good game, but you would have very unequal terrain. Like, what's the word? It's not even. Like, depending on what side of the level you're on, you can have an advantage. Uh, I remember a stage on Tekken 4. It'd be like the forest. There's like a creek. There's like a wall that you can hit your opponent against, and then there's like an incline into the rest of the forest. So I feel like Tekken grew inspiration from Dead or Alive. I mean, whichever came first, but uh, I haven't seen it to that extent where the level or the stage is so large, and you feel like you're in a forest. You feel like you're going down a few infinite mountains, uh, or a snow area with a creek.
it was literally like outside of the box thinking. Let's put them in a scene and not worry so much about trying to put them in one captivated spot.
Yeah, one
So
balanced location.
I think that was like maybe a 3 out of 5 for the Xbox era. I think
That
that's a
was
good
solid.
game.
That was
Yeah,
solid. A solid
yeah,
fighter.
yeah. It's a good fighter. But of course, you're always going to compare it to Tekken. So
Especially if it's a 3D fighter and it's like Tekken's the long-lasting 3D fighter.
yeah. Up next, we're moving to Super Nintendo World.
Mm-hmm.
Gradius.
I know, right? That was a good one.
Um, Surprisingly more fun than we've had in the past.
Have you ran it before on the Super? I don't feel like we have.
I think I ran it. I didn't take it very serious. I got killed right away, and I didn't even like try to let me try to figure that out or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just all right, that was cool. I got it in my collection. Moving on. I think I gave it more effort as a little kid when we played it on Mystical Ninja.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You can only play a certain length of the game, so
Look where this game
maybe
came from.
HEB. the electronic store. Y'all told me about that. I never saw an electronic store in HEB if it wasn't an HEB plus.
Yeah, it was kind of like I wouldn't, you know how like Walmart usually has like stores in the front, like they have like a bank
Oh,
or,
the real estate that they lease out to these
but it
other
was in
businesses.
it was in the back left corner. So I think they were trying to get shoppers to go through the aisles, kind of like most grocery stores. I don't know if you noticed they put the milk in the back, just because it's like a common item, and they're trying to get you back there.
You
But
have to go through all our commercial obstacle course before you can get to the milk.
yeah,
I
you're gonna buy
know
everything.
uh,
What
our
was
green
the game with the hillbilly in it? The it's like a I always forget the name.
phalanx. I think it's
What was that? Was that a shmup?
that was a shmup.
I
For whatever reason,
I
they
remember the ads for that game and Star Fox, especially in that store. But that game was probably the coolest artwork, probably the probably some of the best marketing that had nothing to do with anything. But I think it actually piqued a lot of interest in people to try the game. I don't remember that game being any good.
I'm looking at
I
it
just
and
remember it had like almost nothing to do with the hillbilly.
what did the hillbilly have anything to do with it?
I don't know. He's there playing his banjo and he sees like a meteor or something, and I don't know what he says or what. It was like that early Nintendo marketing, like let's just do some weird shit.
Yeah,
Probably
the
in that Sonic era.
weird shit gets attention, right?
Yeah. Sonic had like they were the cool kids at the time. So of course, if you go back, it's kind of silly now, but it was around that era. Which, by the way, like, have you watched those Sonic ads? I mean, not Sonic, like the Sega ads, like being hip,
No,
being
I've
cool.
oh the cool ones,
Yeah,
the American '90s or early 2000s.
yeah.
I
Like if
don't
you want to be
remember.
slow, grab a Nintendo. But if you want to be fast,
You
you're
want
gonna have to
all
join the Sega.
you want all these megabytes, all these gigaboos.
All
You're
these
gonna have to
there were
play the
kickaboos.
Kiku. Hasn't doesn't have the same ring to it.
Kickaboos.
Kiku boos.
Which, by the way, I know we don't have like a big following or anything, but the video that it came out for the Flippy drive, I used Gigaboos because we just thought it was hilarious. I think I was like
Hmm.
sleepy drunk or something, and we just started cracking up. And it's funny because like that's been something like on the comments that people have actually like repeated. And one of the guys said he ended up buying a Teraboo.
A
As,
terrible.
and I was like, oh, okay, it's catching on. Pretty
Nice.
cool.
I like the Teraboo one. Whoever came
Yeah,
up with that.
yeah,
What's the next step after Terra? Deca? I forget.
yeah. It's gonna be a while, right?
I know
Maybe not.
it
Maybe
sneaks
not. Maybe,
up, but
yeah. We're.
two terabytes is asking for a lot nowadays.
What do you? What's the capacity requirement for the Switch? What do you say is
Re-
the minimum you should have?
Requirement, like suggestion,
Suggested. Yeah.
dude. Probably if you want the entire longevity of the Switch,
Yes.
4 to 8 terabytes. Like I would think at max, because the
Because
size
you're.
of these games are going to be so much bigger. Because Street Fighter, I mean, I could be wrong, but it's pushing. Street Fighter 6 is pushing around 70 to 80 gigabytes, and that's just one game. And the way I run my Switch is, which is like primarily digital. You have all your games loaded. Uh, I'm going to go off topic, but because I had Metal Gear Solid 3 already installed, already digitally there, ready to go, I ended up playing it. And I was just like, wow, didn't expect me to get past this certain spot, but I did.
Which game?
Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake
Okay.
Eater. I stopped right when I got to fuck there after the pain. You have to go through a cave, the dark cave,
Yeah.
or
That cave's a fucking pain in the ass. But
dude,
anyway, what are you saying?
I do recall there's initial time I played it when I was younger, and then there's a later time I played it, and I realized, oh, Snake's vision adapts to the environment because at first it's pitch black, like can't see shit, and then as a kid I was like, oh, my eyes are adapting to the darkness, like for whatever reason I could see in the dark. Same shit with yeah. So yeah, because I went back to like where you first land in the cave, and you would think like you travel deeper into the cave, the brighter it gets. But no, it's the more time you spend in the cave that you now or Snake now adjusts his eyesight to the darkness. And I
A
thought
lot
that
of
was
a lot of interesting touches like that that you never thought that they could put into a game. I think there's also little unique features you can do with some of the insects and things like that. Like you can throw a spider at an enemy,
they freak out.
and you can poison them with like a snake or something. Like if you throw the snake at them,
I
and
was
there's just enough time where you can like throw it. They'll be alarmed. They'll look at you, and then you hide, and they'll like I don't know. They're so puzzled. I guess it's just to give you enough time to like get away.
dude. By the way, Metal Gear Solid 2 ruined me getting ready for this game because the camouflage system is so heavily relied on part 3. Like you have to be at 80 to 90% to be in somewhat in their vicinity and get away
Yes.
with it.
Yeah.
And the way I played 2 is like video game logic. Their ski mask is preventing their vision from 4 to 5 feet away from them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm playing that game like 2, and it's definitely not 2. It's definitely 3.
Three is
And
probably most impressive in what they were able to achieve, what they were able to cram into the capabilities of the game. They took it to another level, but I can see how that game's not for everybody. It's a little bit definitely more stealth in that game.
yeah, even Miranda was kind of like, I don't like this one. This one's different, and I'm just like,
It's it's for like this one's like it's like they say this one's for the boys. Like this one's just for you, you know. Like
yeah.
you play this one by yourself.
Oh, she had a hard time watching it. I mean, rightfully so. You're sneaking slowly through the fucking forest,
It's
going.
exciting when you're playing, but it's not
Yes,
exciting for somebody else to
no.
watch.
I have to go through menus. Have to take out this bullet with a knife. Oh, I used the wrong insecticide or whatever. I used the wrong healing agent.
Yeah,
I just go through.
you didn't disarm the wire. Oh shoot.
Fuck. Yeah, you're going through a lot of options and choices, and it's engaging, but I wouldn't say it's always entertaining to watch.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
fun. It's funny to watch somebody fuck up in that game, though. Just ring, and then oh
Yeah.
fuck, God, I'm
Were there dogs in part two?
trying to think. No, because you're on an offshore plant.
There's definitely dogs in part three.
Yes, there's the fucking Doberman.
The Doberman, man. They're
I
funny to
know.
shoot in the head.
Like to death or to sleep.
Oh, I'm not,
What's the
sometimes you don't want to
difference?
deal with them.
Flashbang at a dog? God, their senses are so fucked after that.
Honestly, I do remember trying to be honorable with the game. I do remember trying to like be stealthy, and I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm killing everybody. Of course, you don't get a nice little rank at the end of the game, but sometimes it's better to beat the game than to be so impatient with it you give up.
So, like, the honorable way to play that game is like, yes, one, stealth, and two, not using that damn trank gun. Because that trank gun's almost a crutch. Like,
Yeah.
I remember abusing the crap out of that thing. I was like, this level's so easy when everybody's asleep.
Well, it's
And
satisfying to come up on someone and just
yes,
put them to sleep.
or accidentally hitting the wrong button and slitting their throat.
Oh
Uh,
shoot! Press too
uh,
hard.
well, for me, since it's the remastered, it's one single button. It's a committed button too. It's like triangle or something like that.
Going back to the pressure sensitive was cool, but it's not. It's like old tech now,
Hmm.
and I could see how I thought it was so critical to have that feature, and then I found it very annoying to disarm my weapon because you know how you put your weapon up if you slowly let off the controller button you can disarm it, but if you don't do it just right, you shoot someone and you're like, ah, damn it,
There's
wasted a
some
bullet and I threw up my cover.
yes, there's some mechanics that don't age too well. One that is argued that a lot of people get annoyed about that you're pretty passionate about are motion controls. You're still on the positive side on it, where a lot of people will see motion controls and tune out because there's like, that's a barrier of entry I don't want to go back into.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
One, you can have a level of imprecision, which, by the way, I have nothing against them, but I don't like to go back and play motion controls now that I'm a lot lazier and older. But back then, I never had a major issue where it broke the game. Like, oh, I can't play it, I can't beat it because I can't waggle the controller. It's like if you generally understand how the game responds to motion, you'll do just fine. Like, don't expect it to be one to one lightsaber motion, but expect it to confine within the rules.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's kind of it on games. Uh, I did want to touch on something. You put a note in here about King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
I just, I really want to find out what's going on. I
Yeah.
have not watched a single of the new King of the Hill episodes. I'm getting a lot of feed, and I'm seeing that the Navajo dude he got killed in San Antonio for a shooting.
Oh, okay. That's him.
Yeah.
Man, he looks like an actual Native American. I'm Googling him.
Yeah.
What I really wanted to know was, is the show out already?
I think so.
No.
No?
It'll premiere on August 4th.
Hmm.
Man, they killed John Redcorn.
John Redcorn, that's his name.
God, I don't even know him by his actor name. Jonathan Joss.
Well, so here's the thing that I want to know. I can't tell if it's real or not. Has the story progressed? Like
It,
15 years or so. I think it's like
it,
at
it,
least 10 years.
so, two things I see in the comments. Well, one, actually, two things I noticed. One thing I visually noticed is Bobby's older.
Yeah.
He's
But
like
is that real?
finally, yeah.
Is
I
that
was
a
like, oh,
real thing?
yeah.
That's
And
not
I'll just,
AI or anything like that?
huh?
That's not like AI or anything. That's an actual this is real that the timeline has progressed.
Yes. Like, you know how some certain characters get stuck in time? Like, I'm always fucking 10. I always
Uh
have the same shirt on. Uh,
Simpsons, Futurama, Family Guy, yes, American
family,
Dad.
yes.
No, no one wants to progress the timeline. I don't know why. I think they worry that, but the demographics are there. So, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I get a reason why. The amount of trouble and the amount of like, you're supposed to get people cozy into this, understanding, feeling, growth, change, generally things we don't like. Uh, but I welcome it with King of the Hill because it's been so long. It's like revisiting an old friend, I guess. And I want to catch up and see how everybody is doing, how the characters progressed, good or bad. Like whether I like their development or I like the direction or I hate it. Like that's the direction they want to see that character grow.
I did see a skit where I think it was the intro. You know how usually in the intro they're fast forwarding, like there's a dump
Mm-hmm.
truck picking up the trash can, but in this case it's fast forwarding with they're basically fast forwarding the timeline from the last time we saw them, which was probably early 2000s, and they're all going through all like the main highlights, and one of them was like the COVID mask. So you see them wear the mask for a little bit, and then you see them like with political
That's
signs.
funny.
Yeah, and then the last
MAGA
scene is when
hats.
Bobby's in the middle and he's grown up now, and I'm like, ah, like it is a bit much. It's a bit shocking, but I'm okay with it at the end of the day. Like it's initially shocking, but now I welcome it and I want to see. I you know what I think it does a service to the production because your voice actors are naturally going to change, and so
Mm-hmm.
some people may not be alive. Some people their voices changed too
Yeah.
much. Some people lost interest. So it's a good time to like, hey, Bobby's grown up now. You don't have to use the same voice actor. Let's go
Yeah,
find what Bobby would sound like today.
yeah,
Um,
that and
but
the probably the most important part, the writing or the writing style. Like that's definitely
oh
going to
yeah,
change in a
you
decade,
get back to
a few decades.
modern days. Futurama made a comeback, I think, and I don't think it was much of a success. And definitely a big Futurama fan. I I didn't think that they were hitting the same way. Kind of like like the way like New Simpsons comes out. Like it's funny, but it's not on your top of the list to go watch.
I think one
You
thing
watch
that came and
Simpsons? You
went
ever
pretty
watch
strong,
Simpsons?
not like most fans would, which is like they'd watch every season all the way through, or can recall
Yeah,
like old episodes. The closest thing
yeah.
I have to like a Simpsons show, or at least one that I'm not interested in, is South Park. That hit so strong, and then for whatever reason, like fell off the uh, popular. It was no longer like the popular show that everybody was watching or everybody can pull reference from in in a classroom. It
It's
started
become
becoming. Mhm.
news, politics, making fun of the latest thing, which they were actually very good at.
I would say they were, and then there's a couple of misses. Like, funny enough, one of them was predicting who's going to win the console war, Xbox One or PlayStation 4, and they decided on Xbox One, and I was like, oh, that aged like sour milk.
Yeah, wrong
Like
choice.
Xbox One was terrible.
Overall,
Which but
they've been on the money about a lot of things, and they changed what people like. They just kind of put a mirror back on how the people are acting about a certain situation. Um, it this is I don't know if South Park has made an episode, but have you seen? Um, Basically, they're comparing Trumpers to like the gay parade. Like, remember how people used to say like, "Why do you have to tell everybody you're gay? Why do you have to show everybody you're gay?" And now the Trumpers are doing the same thing. So
uh,
I'm sure there's a skit about that somewhere.
for sure. As long as it's hitting like some type, it's hitting popular social media, or it's just in everybody's face. They're gonna pretty much call it what it is, or what it looks like, or what it's similar to. I
Yeah,
remember Kanye being called a gay fish. I
I
guess
think
Kanye was
there was some
starting,
reference to that.
huh?
I think there was some reference to that because I think he came out as gay or something recently. I don't know.
Uh, he's he's definitely strange. Uh, I didn't think he would hit. Oh well, I guess yeah, I guess so. After
I mean,
recent news,
I think not growing up with fame and then you get famous, I'm sure it changes you. Like we have no idea what it's like to be that famous and that rich. You probably lose your sense of trust and self along the way.
I know. Then you just be like, well, this is me, and I'm gonna fully express it because what are my consequences? Pretty minimal compared to most Americans.
Oh,
Uh,
totally different problems now.
like, oh, you lose your job and you can't feed yourself. Oh, I don't gotta worry about that. Feed myself.
Yeah.
Food is not a concern at this point.
You watch clothes.
I just
You
buy
don't
a
just
new
buy new
shirt
clothes.
every week.
You're wearing the same socks? You filthy man.
God, those are disposable. You know that. There's a garbage bin at Goodwill. You just drop them off there. They'll
Yeah.
take care of it. Uh,
Wanted to
oh,
touch
well,
on. Oh, go ahead.
before the second thing from real quick, Ladybird is
Dog.
in none of the shots, so everybody's assuming.
Ah,
I know.
maybe the
Oh, she
puppy
was
version.
already, huh?
Maybe there's like a puppy version.
I hope something, right? It's too close to home, but
Uh,
that
you
was
know
something they
who I
pointed
still
out.
didn't see? You didn't see Hank's dad, the old Vietnam vet.
Oh,
Did
Connie,
he die? Yeah.
fuck.
Kim
I
was
don't
asking
know.
me who's his dad, and I was like, He's the one without knees. I don't know if they they sewed his knees to his ankles or something. I don't know what they did,
You
but
know,
he
you
walked
know what?
around.
Yes, the fucking
Yeah,
bird.
yeah, the penguin.
Yes, I was about to say. You know who I want to see? God, he fucking pissed me off. Oh, maybe it wasn't Connie. Connie was the daughter. The Malaysian, fuck, who? The fucking Asians, Odians.
I don't remember, man.
Oh,
Those.
yeah, come on. The only Asian neighbors that would always talk shit about. I mean, it's gonna bother me if I don't. King of the Hill, Asian family, Asian guy. Uh, Khan. Do you remember Khan?
Faintly.
Come on,
Colonel
he's like
Colonel
Filipino.
yeah. Colonel Cotton Lyndall Hill. That's the just want to
Cotton. There you go.
Cotton.
Okay,
Colonel
I got it.
Cotton.
I got it wrong. King of the Hill. Look, this guy.
Yeah.
God, he was so funny. He was so funny. Like the amount of shit talk that he would do. Okay.
Dude, they were all slick, man. They were all throwing like levels of humor you probably weren't even comprehending.
I did not comprehend like what an Asian family was at the time, and then when I saw it in real life, I was like, "Oh, okay, I've seen your stereotype." It's not 100%, but it's pretty spot on.
Yeah, you had Boomhauer. I think everybody's got
I
like a Boomhauer somewhere in their life.
I didn't know. I thought that was a joke, and then I finally come across somebody that talks like that. I mean, not locally, and
Yeah,
I
at
was
some
like,
point in your life. The funny part is, um, it takes place in Texas, so it's even a little bit more relatable.
yeah. Once I
Um,
realized that, I was like, oh,
Bobby, I
okay.
didn't know I didn't know Bobby was voiced by a woman. I think that's fucking hilarious.
That fucking
Dale,
rough dyke
Dale,
accent.
Dale was fucking, Dale was losing it on the conspiracies.
Oh, fucking pockets in. She's just why.
Yeah, the pest control man. The the he thought he was the father. I think that was funny. I think in the new seasons there's supposed to be like a paternity test or something like that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
He never picked up on it. It was funny. That
No,
was like the whole
no,
gag,
never
and
did.
there's so many close times, and he was like, oh well, my family.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, John Redcorn, come over for some dinner.
yeah,
You spent the night. All
yeah,
right, it's
yeah. He'd
okay
go
with
in there,
me.
beat it up, and leave. I think
Beat
if we
it up.
watched it now, if you were to go back and watch it now, you'd get like a different kind of humor out of it.
Like relatability at this point.
But yeah, you're
Could
like,
probably understand.
oh, now I understand.
I could probably understand fucking uh, fucking Hank's conservative views finally.
The
Oh man.
propane.
Fuck.
Anyways, moving on. I wanted to talk about the repair is in progress. The capacitors are here. I don't know if you can
Oh
see.
nice. Can't see
Mr. Pat
shit.
Savon. Last week we discussed the issues with the TV that we found for $40. So far, the repair is starting to quickly surpass that. Um, these capacitors were $50. I'm sure I could have found these online and maybe bought them for like $20. But here's the thing: the reason that you're buying these from Pat Savon is because he has already determined ahead of time which ones you need. Could you go on Google and find out which ones they are? Sure. But it didn't feel like I was getting ripped off. Also, getting a chance to talk to him. He's in his 80s now,
Mm.
which, by the way, if either you know about him or you don't. If you're in the CRT community, likely 80% chance you know about Pat Savon. He, it's interesting because he's very well known in the CRT community, and I don't know why. I just think maybe because he's so well known that him to find time, especially in his 80s, like you don't want to talk to some fucking punk ass kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I have always had success in reaching out to him and getting a response. Um,
Yeah, that's pretty
he just
rare.
yeah, it's pretty neat that he was like I guess he was a technician for Sony, but it seems like he was somewhere in like the higher pay grade of that. And
Hmm.
I don't think he really he's definitely not liking CRTs the way we are for the retroness. He's in a
No,
different era.
definitely
He's 80 years old, didn't grow up on video games.
definitely not a gamer, but I would assume he appreciates the hobbyists appreciating the quality of these TVs at some low or some broad sense. Like we don't know the complexities like he does or can truly appreciate them, but we have a sense of appreciation towards these things. Like, I mean, you have a shitload in your room, and I have one running right now. It's a different experience, so much that it's worth the boxy fucking heavy weight of the damn thing.
Yeah, pretty neat, pretty cool. I I think he's definitely becoming an 80-year-old man, like grumpy and that sort of thing. But I think he does his best to be as polite as he can. You could just kind of sense it, like he's
Mm-hmm.
almost irritated. But anybody in their 80s still doing what they love to do, to be able to have a community, to be able to answer questions, I would think that's got to be pretty pleasing at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like his knowledge just died, right? That's the kind of the case with most people. Like you did something 20 years ago, we're not doing it that way anymore. But there's still a community, you could call it a niche community, that is still highly interested in, and they're just dying to meet somebody who can actually repair TVs and know what the hell's going on. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lost, it's a lost technology. Um, you can kind of compare it to
Yeah.
like the space program. Like I don't even know. I don't even know if we actually ever went to the moon now. The evidence is like compounding, but that's not what my point. Like old
It's 'cause
technology was not
fucking
bad. It was just what they had, what they could do, and some of it like how do you get an image to go through a glass tube, perfectly timed, at every little point, and give you this almost crystal clear image without fail? So impressive what it's doing. It's the speed
and then
and timing of it impeccable, and
yeah, and
it's
the
big, but
mass
it works.
production too, like to upscale it at a major level where
Yeah,
almost
and
everyone
here's how good
has
it is.
access.
Here's how good it is. Nobody is able to make more of it. You don't even nobody has the capabilities to go make another tube. It's completely gone.
So
There's no lab, there's no industry, there's nobody that's making these again.
that reminds me of a similar technology, also manufactured by Sony, because Sony just dips their toes in almost anything they can mass produce.
But yeah,
Cassette players. They, I watched this random video. Don't ask me how I went through this rabbit hole, but basically, some old fart was like, let's bring back the cassette player, but for modern. Like it's sleek. It can work with your Bluetooth headset or whatever, but you can play cassette. Marginally interested. Like I don't have cassettes laying around, but I'm interested. And they said a limiting factor is the size, and it's because there's only one manufacturer making the same type of I guess cassette body and a cassette reader. The technology is only manufactured by like one major Chinese factory, and
shit.
Sony used to have innovated in that space, and these cassette players can go down in size and not lose quality. But now, because I mean, similar to a CRT, it's lost technology, lost information, or lost manufacturing in these type of tools, or
Yeah.
you can no longer go back to that old technology, which is so weird because they're like, we're so far ahead. We have everything in this fucking phone, but I can't go back in time and remake hardware. uh, it technology dies in some
Yeah.
sense. Information,
And the
at least some
information's
of,
gone. The
yeah,
information's gone.
I,
There's no records. Maybe there are somewhere, but it's not out for the public, and you can't
yeah,
find it.
yeah. It's patented or it's licensed or something,
Yeah.
and the how to make how do you manufacture these tubes? That's up to the manufacturers to release that information or not.
I did see there is a company, forgot what the name was, but they are still selling tubes. But not to be mistaken, they are not selling new tubes. What they did is they bought a shitload of tubes before one of the factories closed down, and they're selling them for like a couple grand at least. But they're not making them. And even the guys, the technicians that work there, who are pretty damn smart at these things, don't know where to even start to make this. That's just like, man, somebody invented it and then stopped, and then that was it. It was gone. Uh, New TVs, the way they work, they're pretty damn good. Um, they're freaking light. They're only getting lighter. They're only getting thinner. The shipping cost, I think that right there is the number one factor why these things will not come back out.
Dude,
To
you try
ship
to
a
store
flat
this.
screen TV, yeah, yeah, there's a liability to moving a 36-inch TV. Somebody's going to get hurt,
And
and
then,
they're some of these are going to break during shipping. They take up so much space. You can only fit so many. TVs. Oh man, isn't it insane that you can go to Best Buy and you're walking down the aisles and you see there's so many TVs they can't even fit them in the back. They just fit them somewhere in the aisle because they know they're going to sell. There's that
yeah.
many TVs out there.
There's also the used TV aisle. I don't know if you ever caught them, but it's
Yeah,
like the return. I'm always tempted. I'm like, oh fuck, they marked this down by like $1,000. Holy shit! All because
yeah.
somebody didn't like it and returned it. Those are, I would say, good, potentially good deals if you know what you're looking for. There's
Dude, a
so
TV
much.
brand new is a good deal. You can get a 65-inch for probably like $500 nowadays. It's
Hmm.
probably less.
That I got a fucking 40, 50 inch TCL gifted. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah,
gifted to me, but we're using
you
it
want this?
together.
You want this TV? I wanted it on a Christmas party. Sure. What are you gonna do with it? I don't know.
Okay.
I put it in that room. Put it in the
Yeah, I
garage.
figured. Well, it's funny how a TV eventually finds a spot. Like in some
Yeah.
ways, a room can always use a TV. Uh,
So
that
closing
TV,
thoughts.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to close it up and discuss your bedroom. You got the TV. You finally mounted it. You're starting to
Mhm.
get an audio quality built up for it. What's next, and what are your thoughts so far?
I think I'm done. Like
For now,
I'm
you say that, but there's no such thing.
there is no such thing, but I understand that I've already surpassed the point of there's a point there. I realized it right away. You put a TV, you put it in a room, the picture might be okay, but then you can't hear shit, or you don't want to experience that audio. You want to
What's
experience
your
like
what's your setup right now?
it's
Two.
3.1 right now. So
Okay,
left,
center.
left, right, center, and a subwoofer.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So
That's like pretty damn good. That's
I
really good.
all I'm missing is my surround sound speakers, and I don't want to bother with the amount of. It's already looking hectic in
With
this
the
little
wires
corner.
trending down and up and all across the door
Yeah,
and
and that's
everything.
how I'm like. It used to be just two cables, one for the TV and one for the Xbox, and now I loaded in the Switch because I was like, well, I might as well put my second dock to use. And then I don't have the receiver set on a table. It's just on the fucking floor. I don't have a table for it. And the subwoofer, guess where it's on? It's on top of the receiver. So
That's like the worst place.
it's getting so hot there.
there,
I
there is something about. I think you're not supposed to do that. I think the vibrations over time can damage your equipment. So,
I
Yeah,
bet.
get a little table soon, but I think you're fine for now.
For now, I'm fine, but the priority is more of like setting up the room. And I know this because it's so fucking echoey in there.
What do you
Like,
think the sound quality is compared to a soundbar now? Do you feel that it's superior?
yes, but you can get by with a sound bar, a decent sound bar.
A decent
Like I
soundbar,
like I was saying
especially for
before,
your. Go ahead. Sorry.
like I was saying before, I'm beyond the threshold of return to money ratio. Like the more money I put into it, the less I get out of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So like and that's not even spend any money. I just used old speakers that y'all kept dumping on me that y'all didn't want for whatever reason. They're perfectly fine.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, what happened was that you were upset that you didn't go with the soundbar option. So we were like, all right, let's hook him up. Let's gather our resources and find. I don't think they were all hand me downs. I think there was some really good stuff in there.
the
Uh,
I I have nothing but polks in there. I was like, that's a hell of a hand me down. Uh,
that's a good
that
setup, man.
that's a good.
That's a good one.
uh, the subwoofer is the only thing I can potentially upgrade because I think that one
It is a weak sub. That is very entry level sub,
I
but
could
better
kind
than a
of pick up on
soundbar.
it. Yes, it's way better than the soundbar, but it does just fine. It's very bassy. There's a if you ever come over, I'll play it. But Sonic Mania, for whatever reason, has good sound music quality, much better than most of my other games in the Switch catalog. And I ran it, and I was thoroughly impressed at the
Sonic Mania is a
range.
very good game, by the way.
Yes, they did not slip on the music. They for sure got a dedicated team or studio or a person that knows what they're doing to recreate that feeling. And the
Do you
quality,
recall if Sonic Team was involved with that game?
Sonic Team did. I don't know if they were involved, but what happened was there was a modder that kept making projects, fan games of Sonic, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's hire this guy." And they hired him and his team to make a um, what do you call it? A licensed Sonic game, and it's probably the I would say probably the best traditional classic Sonic game.
That's
And
pretty damn cool. Reminds me of like when the FBI hires the most wanted guy. They're
yeah,
like, "Damn, you were good. Can you help us with future cases?"
yeah, you know what? Let's take this into a positive. You've
Yeah,
bankrupt so many businesses, but
we're gonna wipe those 20 years. Just help us out for the next 5 years. We'll call it even.
and it's crazy that like that at the end of the day, it if you develop a skill and I don't know, it doesn't have to be the most in demand skill. You're good at something. Somebody is gonna want that because there's no one. Someone can't find it. The CRTs. If you find somebody out there that's manufacturing these tubes, you. I'm not saying you will because it's kind of like a dying technology, but you're gonna want that guy.
Yeah, and there's only so much you can be good at. And there's only so
Mm-hmm.
much time. You can only be good at like two or three things max. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
really good, because you
Really
gotta
good.
you everything requires so much. I don't want to say just time, but reading, studying, research, focus, and mental capacity. Uh, you have to dedicate all of that just to get decent at one thing, and then you have to keep at it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I wanted to share on a personal reference. The Okay, so when you are getting into CRT repairs, I've learned that you have to stop looking at it as a return on investment and start looking at it as a truly a hobby and appreciation for what you're learning. Learning does not have a time limit. It can take you 10 minutes, it can take you 10 hours, 10 days, 10 years. And so if you really want to learn it, then you just turn that part off and stop looking at it as, okay, I invested 4 hours, I could have done this in that time or whatever. If you look at it that way, you will forever be miserable. And so what I'm saying is, the first time we took out your board, it was kind of less rush, and that rush led to mistakes. I'm trying to not do that again and be receptive of like the whole experience. If naturally it frustrates me, and I think it frustrates a lot of people because it's like, what is this wiring madness going on? But if you take your time,
Mm-hmm.
take a lot of pictures, uh, slow and steady, you not guaranteed, but you may get there. And that's the other thing too, is like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my time, and there's a chance that it could still not work. Or maybe I do everything right, and then I find out it's something else. Maybe there was something wrong with the tube.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take that, right? If you're constantly looking at it as a return on investment, and not looking at it as just enjoying this thing for what it is.
I, I think you're still getting a return on investment because, well, one, these PVMs, even if they're broken, if you try to find them on eBay listed for parts, they're still like 300 plus, like
Yeah,
depending on which PVM, which monitor you're getting.
yeah.
Uh, and then to deal with shipping and deal with more stuff getting damaged on the way from the delivery. Like, I think my point is you're still spending
Oh,
money,
yeah.
but but
More
I think
satisfying is that you actually did something, you fixed it, um, and you've experienced this with your Switch, where you took it apart, you upgraded it, you did something to this thing, and you learned about what this thing. Have you ever taken apart like a phone and you see what it's all compartments? There's like a battery
no,
here, there's like the camera
fuck no,
here, there's this.
no,
Oh,
not a phone. Like,
and
oh,
you
sorry,
may
not
not
a
even fix it.
smartphone.
Yeah, you may not fix it, but now you're like, oh, I know what's in here. I don't know how it works, but I didn't know it at all. And it's just like most people who've never taken apart a CRT, they think that the CRT, it like the tube is just like this projector, and it's like, no, the tube is literally this whole encompassing feature that goes from the front all the way to the back.
Yeah, it's
Um,
designed
but
around it. Like the
yeah, how do you
limitations
know
of the
that unless Yeah, how do you know that unless you take it apart? Is what I'm trying to say. You know, it's a learning experience that you're gaining.
yeah.
By the way, your 3DS
Oh,
is
nice. Let's hear
somewhat
that button.
repaired.
Let's hear
Yeah,
that
let's see if
button.
it even turns on. Look, I haven't charged it in like months.
God damn, not helping.
There it
Does it
goes.
go? Oh shit. Oh my god, so many memories on that. Did you
Yeah.
run Super Mario World on it? By the way, that's a officially licensed digital copy of Super
Oh
Mario
man,
World that
yeah.
you can no longer
You did
buy.
it the right way.
I did, yeah.
You
But
put
then you
hours
go
on
to
this
your.
game.
Did I? I I I I beat the game on the 3DS,
Sure. But yeah,
and
I
I
see that.
and I almost I think I maxed everything out. I felt like that was the right way to play it because the screen was small enough to where I don't have to worry about the pixels looking right or wrong. The buttons
Tell me this
are
guy didn't put hours into this game.
what is that? Oh, he's gold. I got the gold armor.
Look,
Dude,
everything's stocked up in there, man. Sorry, I can't
dude,
get the image right.
yeah, no, I remember that the armor because I think you can get different armors for different benefits.
Let me just
The
show
only
people where
benefit.
you start off.
Oh yeah, nothing.
Sorry, go ahead.
I did try to start a new file because I was like, I got everything. Might as well do it again. And
Yeah, there's
the only benefit
penis,
to
rhino bitch, jet, cunt with a K,
nice
nopales,
Nopales. I think that
Trevor,
was yours or mom's.
tomales, rice cakes, and Kelvin. I don't know. Did that many people play this game on your 3DS, or was that just you just
Yes,
had?
no. Each person belongs to each file.
Oh fuck!
I know. I was like, try this game out, and you can see how far they all didn't get.
Yeah,
Kelvin,
right. Rhino Bitch got pretty far, and Nopales put 8.5 hours into it and got almost through the game. I think he did get
Damn.
through the game, just not everything. And then Tomales got very far. That's funny. Kelvin put a small little dent in it, but of course he just picked it up and
He was
he didn't
very
go back.
young at the time, by the way. Like
Really?
in I was still in college, so he was still below waist height. Don't know
Well, I
what
think
that.
I showed him the game and he just jumped right on, but he didn't tell me that he had played this before.
Yeah, that was like a old. You know how the to me it was like an old Super Nintendo game that you didn't understand and you wanted to play the 64 game. That's to me the equivalent of what his experience was like. It's an old game. I want to play the new thing, but it wasn't bad, and it wasn't bad to go back to
Yeah.
a classic. Now it's a classic because that game gets remade
What's
for
funny is I
everything.
remember he played the game. What's funny is I remember him
He
picking
what?
up the game. I remember him picking up the game and he kind of almost like jumped right in, and I was like, "Wow, that was." And it all makes sense now. Like he had played the game before.
Hmm. It was hard for him. Like he didn't get that far, obviously,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like he was not finding that enjoyment that I found in it because it's just there's so many like callbacks to the retro games. It's like a Mega Man plus a Mario game put together.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Nostalgia,
you,
definitely. If you don't have it, then it's just a game. It's just like, what is
yeah,
this?
and then
Like a phone game to
what what
me.
it what was so nice was it was challenging. You can get a challenge out of it. The checkpoints help, but checkpoints are optional. You can just break the glass and uh, try to complete it all the way through. I would get frustrated though because I was like, I don't want to play this game. Like this is the wrong way to do it. Like
Yeah.
the challenge way. But yeah, the armor, the gold armor, all it does is make you shiny. That's it. There's no perks. You don't get. I was like, that's cool. I look cool in this armor. That's good enough. That's the
What are
best
those
armor.
called? The little toys, the Ambinos or
The amiibos.
Amiibos? Yeah. I do recall there was a golden one.
Oh,
There was a
cool.
there was a blue
That
one. There was also a golden one. I didn't know like what the whole difference
Yeah, there's a
was,
gold
but
armor set. I wish they gave me a. I know pixel art's kind of already played out, but I wish I did have a pixel art version of Shovel Knight. That would be
that would
cool.
be cool. Yeah, that'd be
Uh,
nice.
very nice. But yeah, 3DS. I didn't get to hear the button though.
The button?
R button.
Oh, it's not. You're not gonna hear it. Um, so that's the left, and that's I don't know if you can hear it. And then this one,
One's louder.
there's no slack in that right one, but it works. So take that what you will with it.
Okay,
And I
as long as
think
it
I
worked.
think
Cause what?
it works. It's just you're gonna when you feel it, you're gonna be like, "Ugh, this feels ugly." You get quickly over it if as long as you just focused on the game. But I think that the 3DS has like little plastic compartments in there, and they're like basically like little fins. And when you press down on this R button hard enough, it kind of compresses it over time. So that's, I think, the issue. It's almost like you have to redo that frame or maybe something different in there.
I know exactly why that button's worn out. Uh, I used to play Smash Bros on it, and R is block.
Yeah, that will do it. Like
Yeah,
crunching that thing, man.
yeah, fuck. I was like, oh, I gotta block. The harder you hold, the more you block.
Yeah. Hey, last closing thought, and we'll wrap it up. Switch 2, it's coming out a couple days. What is your feeling right now of the game? And it's almost like
Finally,
when this comes out, this will be out after the Switch is in your hand. So almost like a message to yourself from the
I,
past.
I know, right? I'm kind of at that like I'm more relieved than excited. Whatever comes from it, we'll finally see it play in action. I'm already tired of talking about the Switch 2. I'm already tired of projecting or making my wish list. it's been going on for at least 5 years already since the Switch 2 is like seen as like, you know, we need more of this technology. We need a super Switch. We need a Switch Pro,
There's
and
gonna be
this
a
is
lot of
it.
shit talking for sure. Tons of haters.
I I almost confident, I could be wrong, that it's not going to hit the same level of success as the Switch 1 or the original Switch.
No
Oh,
doubt.
it says battery exhausted.
Did that
Your
go
mic
out?
still works? Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yep.
camera died. You know what? I'm gonna
There.
switch to laptop. You can't turn off the camera while recording. Great. Well,
Okay.
let's wrap it up.
Yeah. So yeah. The
Son
no
of a
camera.
bitch, always something.
Uh, um. Yeah. Last thoughts are that hey, it's finally coming out. I'm
Yeah.
relieved.
Hey, close
Uh,
this out, please, sir. You got the mic's all on you.
Yeah. It sounds like you're talking from like a garbage bin or something. Hurry the fuck up. Yeah, I'm more relieved. I'm less excited to play it and more excited to just finally get it. My excitement is getting it, not playing it.
Well, 2 more days.
Yeah. We'll see how everything goes out. I think I'm gonna be impressed with the specs, the tech for it, but I don't know if it's gonna. The Switch One also had that like 1 year of like you didn't get all the major games that you needed with it to be like immersed. But I think that that gap or that time is going to fill up a lot more quickly than it did with the Switch One. It's going to have way more third party support.
Dude, and then here's the other thing. The size of that thing. I didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah, until you saw the case, right?
Yes.
That it's no longer at that portable, put in your pocket. I mean, it never was, but you can't uh, can't just carry it around, and that's what that case was for. Like, I know I need to get a case because I know I'm going to carry it around,
Mm-hmm.
not to work, but I'm going to be carrying it around.
How's that? 60%.
Oh, yep, you're working.
All right. Got a hot battery in my hand.
Weird. The camera quality jumped up too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
It looks good on my end. I think a lot of it has to do with the transfer. I don't know if it like on my end. Sometimes it'll say the resolution is weak, or that it's
Mm-hmm.
not coming in at the best resolution at the time. But during the upload, it will. Usually been the case. So some kind of delay. But yeah, man, I'm excited about Switch 2. Um, if you need me to pick it up, let me know. And for anybody watching, we will have an unboxing same day. We will try to post out as much information as we can on it. There's going to be tons of people doing the same thing, but uh, it's still going to be fun to go through this experience again. We did it through the PS5, but this is different because now it's actual something new. And
Mm-hmm.
by the way, congratulations to us. You know, patting ourselves on the back. We've been doing this for 6 months now, and it's been pretty cool, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Nothing overly difficult. If anything, um, I've learned a lot in the last 6 months just from being involved with it, getting like a whole new appreciation for gaming. Beyond just playing the game, there's the behind the scenes that most people don't really dive into. And would be nice maybe one day we have like somebody who actually has worked on developing a game, or maybe even like the management side of it. Would be cool to get their take, but either way, we're doing the best that we can with what we have, and um, I'd say we're enjoying the experience so far. Like actually, a pretty fun time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sure. I mean, we're not losing steam. I know we might be rambling on to strangers. We definitely can improve on how we deliver our information. I think that's only going to come with time. But like at this point, we're just kind of comfortable being in front of a camera, which was kind of a big thing at first.
Yes.
It's like you got to see yourself every day, and also like the amount of preparation physically and mentally. Like you got to be ready to bring something to the table. And like I said before we recorded, I'm like, I'm gonna crutch on you today. This ain't the day for me. But
But you
it's
still get through. We still do
I,
it, you know. Tired
yeah.
or full energy, we still do it, and that's that's pretty remarkable. Got to pat ourselves on the back for that, and you know, most people have already quit by this point. So as long as we keep with it, I think we'll keep getting satisfaction and a good experience from it. And hopefully for anybody watching, God damn, everybody's got their own YouTube channel. So don't worry about it, man. You know, just do it. But just make sure it's something that you actually enjoy. And you know, if you were making a YouTube channel on engineering and you hate engineering, you hate your job, you're probably not gonna want to do it.
Don't ask me to do that. I don't want to
But
do that no
anyways,
more.
appreciate it. Good 25th episode, and here's to 25 more at least.
I know, right? At least. Oh no, died in a car accident. Couldn't make it there.
Yep. All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. We'll see y'all later.
See you guys.